Lawyers for Prince Harry and 3 others head to court over allegations of phone hacking by Mirror Group journalists.
With the price of allotments shooting up even faster than these spring greens, thousands of plot holders across Britain fear they may have to give up their plots. I'm in St Helens this morning to find out why the costs are going up so much and how people here feel about it.
In sport, De Bruyne's brilliance at the Bernabeu. This stunning strike keeps City's European dream alive ahead of the Champions League semi-final second leg with Real in Manchester. Next.
Started. The first Eurovision semi-final hits the stage in Liverpool. Favourite Sweden go through, but Ireland are out. This is interesting. More than 320,000 young people have started their Duke of Edinburgh's award in the last year. 320,000. That's the highest number in the scheme's 67-year history.
The award was, of course, set up by the late Prince Philip in 1956, and it's considered quite simply one of his greatest legacies. The charity says it's now hoping to reach 1 million young people by 2026.
And you're an adventurous lot, aren't you? You've been sending us your own memories this morning of your Duke of Edinburgh experiences. Should we have a look at some of them?
This picture was taken 55 years ago. Now, the sender didn't actually send us their name, but he said he was tasked with building a speedboat as part of his Gold Award.
Blimey,
James
that's
Bond.
quite adventurous. Maybe it was James Bond. That's why you can't include his name. Chris Morris sent in this image of his dad's award, received after completing his expedition back in the 1960s. It just says a lot, doesn't it, that people keep them. So proud of them.
And here we have a different group from the Birmingham Explorers taking part in their expedition training.
Look a bit tired and glum, perhaps. It's after a long day. And I've had a lovely message this morning from Alison on Twitter, who's told us that she and her now husband met through the Duke of Edinburgh scheme back in the 80s when they did a challenge together. They've now been together for 39 years and they run groups for the Duke of Edinburgh for young people in their own village.
That's lovely.
Duke of Edinburgh scheme bringing couples together.
Very good.
We didn't do it, did we?
Neither of us did Duke of Edinburgh, no. I think you would have been better at it than I. I'm not so great with the camping.
I tell you what, Carol, I bet Carol... Did you do it, Carol? No?
No, I
didn't.
We're rubbish, aren't we?
We are, John. All of us are rubbish.
Let's have a look at some of this morning's papers, shall we? What's making the headlines this Wednesday? And following the verdict in that civil trial we've been talking about against Donald Trump, the Mail is asking if it could be the end of Mr Trump's re-election bid, because despite losing the 2020 election, the former president has previously made it clear he intends to stand again in 2024, and all the signals are this morning he hasn't changed his mind, aren't they?
The Eye is reporting the supposed clash between the Archbishop of Canterbury and Downing Street, Justin Welby, who this weekend crowned King Charles, is expected to condemn the government's language on migration.
The Guardian this morning leading on that groundbreaking IVF procedure that has led to a baby being born using 3 people's DNA for the first time here in the UK. This pioneering technique is an attempt to prevent children being born with devastating genetic diseases. We're going to talk a bit about that with our medical editor, Fergus Walsh, a bit later. And
there's another health story on the front of the Daily Express today. The paper is reporting that 7,000 people in the UK die needlessly every year with diabetes, according to the charity Diabetes UK. The paper describes it as the country's fastest growing health emergency.
Well, many of this morning's papers focus on Donald Trump. The Guardian, for one, leading on the verdict against the former president, which found him liable for the sexual abuse of the columnist E. Jean Carroll in 1996. That story also makes the front of the Daily Telegraph with the headline, Trump sexually assaulted writer, US jury finds. Front of the Mirror too, the paper writing that Donald Trump was ordered to pay his accuser £4 million in damages after the jurors ruled that he sexually assaulted her. The verdict also the lead story on the Metro saying there, Trump is a sex abuser. The Mail's headline on this, it asks, is this the end of Trump's new bid to be president? Now, the Eye reports that the Archbishop of Canterbury is set to condemn the government's illegal migration bill and the language being used by ministers, something we were hearing there from Amanda. The Times says Britain is poised to formally proscribe the Wagner Group of Russian mercenaries as a terrorist organisation. The Express says analysis shows the effect of diabetes means more than 7,000 people die needlessly with the disease every year. The FT reports that, according to officials, the compensation bill for those affected by the NHS contaminated blood scandal could reach £10 billion. And The Sun has an exclusive story reporting that the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan, has hired the former bodyguard of Kim Kardashian. Now, if you want to see any of those front pages again, or indeed read the stories, then do scan the QR code on your screen.